I can figure out why you would still be in conflict with Malik, because he, like, already tried to kill you once.
Yeah.
Crap. How do you talk Bastille into going with you, into continuing on with that bullshit?
Well,
You're, like, fully evil.
let's just say you have to be quite the cunning linguist.
Oh, you just banger?
Yeah, he's a banger. That's why the Jedi don't allow love, Yoshi!
Because of Brent.
Because of Brent, because Brent set that fucking standard. Although Jolie also says that, so apparently he did not. Okay. Locked? Locked, I assume? Brent? Locked?
No problem. Didn't work.
Well, T3 is here, and he's got great security. Yes, do the R2D2. You did that R2D2.
Wait!
I'm waiting.
We're underwater!
Yeah.
Bleep bloop!
Yep. We are, in fact, underwater.
Remember that from earlier?
I do.
Bleep bloop.
Hey, what's up? Ooh, yikes.
Is that a grenade?
It's a grenade, but also I need
It's
to...
a dead robot.
He's dead. Thanks, Jolie. I'm sure Zalbar's happy to have a break from all the times we made him fucking be the best and save us.
Maybe he's murdering people elsewhere.
Yes, on our ship. There's no one to watch him. Certainly Mission's not gonna fucking do that shit. Force Wave! And Stasis Field.
I don't know how I feel about these Geonosian guns.
Yeah. They gotta
Or
have...
fucking Aquaman talking guns.
Well, our ability to talk to fish is of no use here. You ever see that Cartoon Network bump where, like, Aquaman and Wonder Woman are being held by the Legion of Doom and then the Powerpuff Girls show up?
No.
Oh well, it happened, and like, it just starts out with like Aquaman doing his like boop 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 things at the walls, and then he's like, my ability to talk to fish is of no help here, and then Wonder Woman just fucking rolls her eyes. And the Powerpuff Girls show up, and I think Lex Luthor's like, the Powderpuff Girls, and they're like, ugh, how many times will you get that wrong? It's Powerpuff, no D! And then they beat them all up.
Get it? No D.
No D. Gonna leave that one there.
You remember the Rowdy Rough Boys?
I do, and how their defeat was like, when they came back a second time was a metaphor for puberty.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was like, instead of being kissed into submission, kissing only made them larger and stronger. Powerpuff Girls was a good show.
Yeah. Kenji Tartakovsky's
Talented dude.
He's just the best.
He knows what's up. I'm cautiously optimistic about this Samurai Jack reboot we've talked about before.
I don't think it's a reboot.
I mean, continuation,
Yeah.
Not a reboot.
I think I actively would not be excited if it were
Yes.
a reboot. I don't got time for that shit.
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
Rain, Zion Grenade, Pressure Door. Ooh. Do I need an I thought I had an environmental suit. Maybe I just have to put it on?
Do you think they're just gonna minimize Aku's presence, or
I
recast and
think they'll-
lean full into it?
think they'll probably, like, minimize but also get a sound alike. Because, like, there are, like, Mako's voice is fucking great. Rest in peace.
But
and all.
Aku is not a hard
Yeah.
voice to do.
So
Like,
you're-
everybody's got an okay Aku impression.
And, like, I never watched Avatar The Last Airbender, really, or The Legend of Korra, but, like, the character he played comes back in The Legend of Korra as, like, a spirit thing, because it takes place, like, 100 years later, some shit like that, and they did that fucking The Force Awakens trick where they cut, like, his previous audio to make, like, a new sentence,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, it actually sounds pretty good. Force Wave! Yeah, bitches. Brent ain't got time for this.
You think that's why they named her Rey?
What?
And J.J. Abrams was just sitting there like, what
sound
audio
can we
can
make?
I get Charlie Guinness to say of a character name that doesn't exist in Star Wars yet?
Ray. Oh, that's a good one. West storage room. I just want to clear out the regular parts where we have to go into the underwater parts, because underwater parts is going to be tricky, I think.
Tricky.
Is that SSX tricky?
Yeah.
Average frag mine? Did I get it? Oh no, it blew up. Oh well.
Bluey.
Uh,
Or, excuse me, we're underwater. Club Bluey.
Kabloopy.
Kabloo-loo-loo.
Shaboopy.
I'm drowning!
Bubba lubba dub dub. Look at this quest item shit. Oh, fuck. Quest item.
I'm drunk.
You sure are, buddy. You sure are.
There's one piece of work that I absolutely have to do today that I'm really not looking forward to. But other than that, I think I'm just gonna drink water and play Fortune Street for the rest of today. I think that's fucking all that's left in the thing.
The day?
Tank. It left in the tank.
Yes.
That's what I meant. I meant to say tank. Ryan, come back from Canada! I want to play Dungeons and Dragons and Imperial Assault.
Yeah.
And I watched all of Stranger Things, and I want to yell at you about it. Because I liked it, but I didn't.
That's the most, like, you opinion.
I liked it,
But I didn't.
No problem. Got it.
Okay, got some parts. Oh, hey, environmental suit. Neat.
Stranger Things clearly
Somebody out there?
worked.
Vision?
Right? Like, it was a cultural pop phenomenon this summer. Lots of people watched it. Lots of people loved it.
Only the ones left in the south part of the base might still be alive, but when the culto is...
Well, maybe it's okay.
But my point being saying that Stranger Things is like objectively, qualitatively bad is an incorrect statement.
Okay.
It is a measurably incorrect statement. And in the same way that BoJack Horseman has his defense of horsing around of like the point of the show was for lots of people to watch it, so advertisers would spend money on it so they could make more show.
Yeah.
It was a successful show. By like any metric you can objectively judge a show, it was successful. And
Yeah.
Stranger Things definitely falls into that category. And a lot of things in it are really, really, really good. The production values are really high. The cinematography is gorgeous. The production design is very complete and consistent.
Sure.
But
I think everyone agrees that it relies on a lot of nostalgia for the 80s and
Goonies.
early 90s and the like Stephen King, Steven Spielberg, that sort of like brand and era of media.
yeah.
What?
And I think that's true, and I think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was a really white-dominated genre and time. And
I mean-
this show is mostly about white... Like, it's E.T., but if E.T. were a white girl that was in love with Elliot.
I heard it was
Spoiler alert.
also Goonies a little bit.
Yeah, but Goonies, which is
Yeah,
also
yeah,
almost
it's
100%
exactly that
white
sort of
people.
thing.
Like, all of the
Except for,
all
like,
of
Data.
the non-white people are presented as caricatures or
I mean, I never really
or just
watched.
have less character depth than their white counterparts.
I never really watched Goonies, and I wasn't that big into E.T. So like,
My partner really, really, really likes Goonies, and E.T. is just like a landmark sci-fi movie.
it feels like because I'm kind of missing those, it won't really land on me. And I don't like monster things in general.
I don't anticipate you personally liking Stranger Things that much. Like, I don't think I would recommend it to you if you still want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Just so that you can be part of that cultural conversation.
Right.
That's basically why I watched it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't anticipate you greatly enjoying it. There's no part of Stranger Things I'm like, oh yeah, this is Juan's jam. The D&D references are like nice, but they're also generalized enough so as not to alienate an audience that doesn't know D&D. So it's not like no part of the show is actually about D&D.
Right.
No part of it is speaking to D&D players. It's just kind of, oh yeah, that's nice. They mentioned a thing I care about
Yeah.
tangentially. But yeah, it just buys into all of these tropes and all of these cliches and all of these like plot paradigms that are problematic and negative, and then it does like all of the things it steals
Yeah.
are the weakest parts of the show as well. Like it's one thing to retread a bunch of old tired things if you're just gonna do the shit out of all of them.
Yeah. Like
A great counterexample here is Creed.
I was just gonna say
Creed
that, yeah.
is fucking amazing, and even if you take out the social justice, the progressive agenda of having the protagonist, the main boxer of the movie, being a black guy,
it's still
it's
just
still
good.
an amazing
Yeah.
boxing movie. It takes
It does all
every
the tropes
tired
really well.
boxing trope and just does them all excellently.
Yeah.
Whereas Stranger Things, every element it steals from these things you're supposed to be nostalgic for, it does just not as well. It doesn't do Spielberg as well as Spielberg does Spielberg. It doesn't do Stephen King as well as Stephen King does Stephen King. I think the biggest example of this is the sort of like ominous, mysterious villain guy
Yeah.
who's very clearly an homage to the Smoking Man from X-Files.
Oh yeah.
Is just a crappier version of the Smoking Man from
That.
X-Files.
That.
Like, every new detail you learn about him makes him less interesting and less ominous and less intimidating. And that's the exact opposite of the point of that trope. Every new detail you learn about him should bring up, like, 6 more questions and make him more terrifying.
Yeah.
And he just gets smaller and smaller and smaller with each new piece of information you find out about him. And also, you keep finding out way too much information about him.
That sucks.